Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. I'm Chris Pajak. It's the Starting 11 prediction show, this time brought to you by OneFootball, the one-stop shop for stats, transfer news, normal football news and notifications, personalised news feeds, everything you need if you want to follow the footy and you're not able to be at the game or watch it. I'm not just saying this, it is absolutely a brilliant app. I've replaced pretty much all the others. I use this one. It's quicker, it's faster, it's easier to use. I absolutely love it. And I will have notifications on for that Manchester City game on Saturday night. I obviously won't need them for the Burnley game, but yeah, it is a fantastic app. You can download it by clicking the link in the description. Get onto it, it really is good, and if you do like it, let other people know in the comments that you do like it. But we are here for Liverpool versus Burnley in the Starting 11 prediction show. What I believe Jurgen Klopp, what side I believe Jurgen Klopp will put out. It's been a while since I've done one of these Starting 11s. Tom's stepped in, he's been brilliant. 25-30 minute videos on Starting 11s.
Yeah. People want your back, Chris. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, it's too long, to be fair, mate. You know what I mean? We should just rattle through this in 2 minutes and end the video and people will be happier.
No, it's true, but you've got to engage with the audience.
It's true. You do have to engage with the audience, and that's what I love about these shows, is that speaking to the audience and getting questions from them and answering those questions. So we're going to start with the goalkeeper. We're going to start with Alisson Becker in this instance. 29 appearances, 15 goals conceded, nearly 2 saves per 90 with his reflexes, and we know how good his passing is. He's in goal, there's no doubt about it. I know it was Mignolet's birthday this week on Tuesday, but he's definitely going to start in goal. And at right back, I believe Jurgen will pick Trent Alexander-Arnold to keep his place at right back, partly because he's the best right back of the club, partly because there's no other right backs fit. He's played 19 times from the start, 1 from the substitute bench, got 6 assists, 3 obviously in 1 game only a week or so ago, and his passes per 90, 58.59. He's so crucial to how Liverpool move the ball forward that he absolutely has to start in this game. And you can see there, yes, his crossing completion percentage is only like 29.3, but he's thrown 5 balls in a game, give or take. And he's been so crucial to us going forward. And I imagine that against Burnley, that's going to be the case once again. So alongside him, I believe it will be his partner the last couple of weeks. It will be Joel Matip in there. This will be his 16th start, if there is to be. He's played 11 times from the start, 4 from the substitute bench. He's winning 68.5% of his aerial duels. And the lad has been just sort of slaloming down the pitch with the ball at his feet. Maybe not like that. Maybe a bit more straight. Maybe a little more wiggly. Maybe with the ball at his feet. Maybe with players coming side to side, but I love seeing that, Joel. I love watching Joel Matip take the ball out, because Virgil van Dijk's got a man on him, Trent's got a man on him, midfielders have got men on, Fabinho sometimes has 2 men, and Matip goes, you know what, if you're gonna give me the space, I'm gonna take the space, I'm gonna have to move forward, I'm gonna have to try and drive the team on, because quite honestly, we've not had that from the midfield this season, the last couple of weeks, certainly. So he's been stepping up, and I like this. I like Joel Matip. He's changed my opinion of him. I thought that he was probably 4th choice centre-half. He's probably 3rd choice now. He's gone ahead of Lovren for me in the pecking order. Defensively, he's been good. He's been able to stay fit for a few weeks and stuff, and he's getting better and better. And there's a real partnership, a budding partnership between him and the lad who will play alongside him. And that lad is the Standard Chartered Player of the Month, Virgil van Dijk, who's played every single Premier League game, completing 92% of his passes, winning 68% of his aerial duels and averaging nearly 6 interceptions per game. We talk so much about Virgil van Dijk, there's literally no more that can be said. And that's kind of the same about the left-back, to be honest with you. And the left-back in this game is going to be one Andrew Robertson. He's got 8 assists, so he's winning that competition with Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's crossing the ball nearly 4 times a game, interceptions, nearly 4 interceptions a game. He's the heart, the soul of that defence, and he's absolutely magic, and he's got a winning smile as well. In the centre of the park, I think it's going to be probably a little bit 4-3-3. I think Fabinho's going to be in there in the 6. He's been revolutionary in that midfield. You know, we've seen some good 6s over the years. We've seen the likes of Mascherano and Xabi Alonso and all these guys, and he's got the potential to be up there, and he's playing at a level right now that's world class. And he might not be a world class player, because he might not, for me, have done it for a consistent period of time, a season, 2 seasons, something like that. But this lad is playing at a world class level, and I really enjoyed seeing that quick 1-touch, 2-touch football, moving the ball forwards, eyes forward, down the field. Where can I hit the ball to? Mo, sound. I like the ball to Mo. Little assists here and there, two assists in 2 games back in December. He's driving the team on. I love that. Alongside him, I believe it's probably going to be one of our player of the year. And I think Gini Wijnaldum's been that man. Not so much a good performance from him last time out against Everton, but when he's on form, and he's been on form more often than not this season, he's been absolutely fantastic. He's winning 4 defensive duels per 90, intercepting the ball nearly 3 times, and he's still able to dribble the ball as well, 2.58 dribbles per game. And ahead of them, I'm going for Naby Keita going back into this side. I'm sorry I went a little bit fast there, Tom. He hasn't played since Bayern Munich. We just felt like he was, you know, I think a lot of Liverpool fans think, and I certainly do, that he's a bit of a confidence player, and it felt like he was putting one foot in front of the other and he was driving forwards himself, and we were starting to see the real Naby Keita sort of stand up, and I don't know whether it was a decision made for reasons that I don't know about, but Naby being out of there, losing that, I don't know, man, just think if we're going to get better, we're going to attack Burnley. For me, it's that centre of the park that needs to improve. I think the defence has been sound. The attack, yes, we've had issues in the final third and stuff, but we know their quality. That midfield is where we can really strive for improvement, and Naby Keita can be that man. So I really want him to get his foot on the ball and play with his ball, with his eyes up, looking for his mates Mane, Salah, Firmino ahead of him, and be a driving influence in this game. And I really hope that he starts in front of the Anfield crowd at the weekend. Over on the right-hand side then, a lad who's been in good form without scoring goals recently is Mo Salah. I think, you know, those 2 big misses against Everton, one of them a good save by Pickford, the other great tackle by Keane. Big opportunities that he's missed. He'll want to make amends for that. He'll want to drive this team on. He hasn't scored for a few weeks. He needs to get back in the goals. If Liverpool are going to play well in this game, though, he's going to be a man that's going to be drawing 1, 2, 3, 4 players towards him, creating space. We've got to take those opportunities. If he's got 4 players on him, where are the others? Who's the man in space? How are we going to get him the ball? Will it be Naby? Will it be Firmino? Will it be Mane? Let's get the ball to Mo. Use him as that diversion. Get the ball into the other lads. Let them scoring goals. He won't be asked if he's not scoring goals, as long as the team is winning, and that's what we need to get back to. Over on the left-hand side, Sadio Mane been in fantastic form, played the 9 in the last 2 games. I imagine he'll be shifted over to that left-hand side to accommodate Roberto Firmino ahead of him. But look at this, 14 goals in 27 total appearances, 26 starts for a lad who's played left wing. Absolutely fantastic season so far for him. You know, he's dribbling past people 63% of the time. I think that's brilliant. He's winning over 50% of his offensive duels, and don't forget, most of them will be up against defenders whose job it is to tackle. So to actually be plus 50, brilliant. And you know what, he's getting shots off as well. He'll be key, and ahead of them, Roberto Firmino will come back in the number 9 position. I'm a little bit gutted, Tom, that you haven't got a really smiley picture of Roberto Firmino here.
I know, maybe I should employ that fella who put that weird, creepy smile on my on our picture. Do you remember when we won the Northwest Football Awards?
Yeah, that was horrible. Horrible. It
Yeah.
looked like something out of a Tim Burton movie.
I might get in touch and get him to do them.
Well, did you pick a picture of him smiling, Tom?
But these are from the Premier League,
Right. Well,
the official ones.
Okay, right. We'll do this off camera. We'll come back to this. Roberto Firmino has played 29 games, 25 in the start, 4 from the subs bench, 9 goals. He scored last time out. He was brought on against Burnley, and I think it was 1-1 at the time, and he obviously gets a goal in that game, takes us to 2-1. Shaqiri scores in 90 plus minutes or whatever it is to take it to 3-1. I think he'll start from the start. I think he'll be important. And I just want to see that front 3 dovetailing. I just want to see them swapping that fluid front 3. And I think the key to that is if they're moving, who's coming from the midfield? The big thing for me over the last couple of weeks is that midfield, the gap between the midfield and the attack has been too much. There's too much onus on just 3 players. We need to drive forward, get the ball further forward, get midfielders further forward, help those guys out, because they can't do it all on their own. You're normally playing against 5, 6, 7 defenders at times, this Liverpool side, and the 3 of them, as good as they are struggling to deal with it, so let's support them. That's my starting 11. Let's look at it in the team before we get into the comments and stuff. So you got Alisson, you got Trent, you got Matip, Van Dijk, Robbo, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Keita, Salah, Mane and Firmino. Let's get into the comments then. Tom, can you get me started, please, mate?
I can. Stealthful says, where can I get that shirt from?
I'm glad you asked. And Tom, I'm very glad that you picked that as the first comment. This shirt, and you'll notice, is a Liverpool shirt by us called the Fab Four, and you can get this from the redmentv.com. And if you just go on the main website and you click on that shop, you'll see all the designs that we've got on there. This is an absolute belter. Obviously, it's got the Fab Four. We've got Naby, we've got Mane, we've got Salah, we've got Roberto Firmino. I absolutely love this. It's brand new this week. We kind of soft launched the new shop on the website and stuff. If you like it, you can get a piece of it. It's 20 bob, 20 quid. False advertising there, wasn't it? Mate, I nearly got in trouble by Ofcom or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Don't want that, do we? It's £20.
There you go. Harry Cooper asked the question, is it time for Shaqiri to come back in against the stubborn Burnley side?
It's interesting, you know. I mean, we've just had a really interesting debate about Shaqiri on the Uncensored Match Build-Up show, which won't be out until tomorrow. But for me, he went off the boil a few weeks ago, and I know he had that thigh strain or whatever it was, and we've not really seen him come on. But I think we might need an impact sub in this game. I'd like to see, like, you know, Watford, where we score on 10, we score on 20, we score on 30, whatever. But I really feel that it's important that, you know, we get the job done with the players on the pitch first and foremost. And if we need an impact sub, then someone like an Origi, a Shaqiri, they can come on. But yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Because he seems to be better from the subs bench. Obviously scored against them off the subs bench last time out, I think. No, actually he started that game, apologies. He started that game, it was Salah and Firmino that came on in that game last time out. But if he's needed in this, I'm sure he'll be ready. And if he's needed in this, Jurgen will have to use him. Go ahead.
The Danger says, Keita needs this game. He can start the quick play, dribble past players, find the wingers and get those goals.
Keita? Yeah, absolutely, man. I think, you know, with the ball at his feet, I don't think we've got an issue. I think we've seen over the last few weeks that Naby can play with the ball at his feet, and you know, he grows into games. He's one of those players, actually, a little bit like maybe this is a poor comparison, but Emre Can used to take a while to get into games, you know, 10, 15 minutes. I think Naby has a little bit of that about him. It just takes him a little bit of time to get used to the speed of the game, the player that he's coming up against. This is the first time for most of the season so far that Naby's coming up against players. He's never played against these lads before. He doesn't know their weaknesses and their strengths. So he's figuring that out, and I think that's why he's taken a few minutes to get into these games, to be honest with you. But his ball at his feet, no issues. And I think if you read everything that you believe in the newspapers, an opinion piece by James Pearce earlier in the week was that Klopp maybe doesn't trust him with going back, and I think maybe that is the issue. Does he track back as well as everybody else? Is he bought into that? Well, that'll need to change if you want to be a part of Liverpool, if you want to be a legend at this club, if you want to go and win things. We need every single player pulling in the same direction, singing from the same hymn sheet, and I hope Naby will be doing that. I hope this is the game that he does it and proves to Klopp that you can trust him in every single game.
Salman Qureshi says, Burnley a physical team. I would play Lovren ahead of Matip. Lovren loves a battle, although Matip has played very well recently. I think Lovren's injured.
Yeah, Lovren shouldn't be in this game, I don't think. I don't think he's been training this week, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
But on the physical side, Matip's looked a lot better defensively.
Yeah, I've always said, I think the word we use on here a lot of the time, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't come onto the YouTube stuff as much, maybe it's more the website content and stuff, but we talk about him being quite a passive defender, and I don't think you can level that at Joel over the last few weeks. I do think he's been aggressive when he's needed to be. And what's really interesting, actually, is Van Dijk an aggressive defender? Or is he passive? Or is he just making the right decision at the right time? And his in-game management's very good. Because so often you see players running at Van Dijk, he doesn't go towards them. He runs away, gives everybody else time to get back in. Think of that Fabinho challenge from against Watford it was, wasn't it? Was it Watford? Where Fabinho comes flying back in and gets the ball. That's because Van Dijk's being passive. And he is challenging the players either go past me, but I'm facing the right way, so it's not going to be that difficult. And I'm going to give me lads time to get back in. So I don't know whether being passive or aggressive is good, but what you've got to do is be one of those at the right time, and I think that's what Virgil does so well. And I would say that Matip's been doing that much better over the last few weeks as well. Maybe that's my understanding of football changing. Who knows? Maybe Virgil's changing, all of that type of stuff. Okay, Tom Smith, Robertson and Trent's crossing might be the key to break down Burnley. Absolutely brilliant. Brexit Burnley, he said, actually, not Burnley. And you could be right. I think these are the lads that, you know, we're looking to get involved in the game. We know, obviously, was it 8 assists and 6 assists, I think, from the stats before. And we know how important they are. But for me, and I agree with you, these probably will be. What Liverpool need to do more than anything over the next few weeks for me is establish that we can attack centrally. Because once you establish that you can attack centrally, then they cannot cover the wings quite as often. And it's just basic stuff, this, isn't it? But it's how you need to make sure that those players in the centre of the park are always preoccupied so that these players are getting free. And, you know, equally, when these lads come up, can you get these lads into a little bit of space? These, like, you know, these pattern plays that we've looked at on the stats and tactics so often, Salah drawing a man so Trent can come forwards, or Trent coming forward so Salah can get a little bit of space. We've been so close to scoring goals, certainly against Everton. You know, we created good opportunities. We should probably have won that game with the opportunities that we had. You know, ultimately it's a team, and we need to be able to win in a multitude of different ways, and this team can, because we've got great players in good positions. You know, those right backs and left backs can cross the ball. These lads can shoot from anywhere. It's this area of the field where I don't feel we're getting the production that we need, be that assists, be that goals. You know, sometimes you think about great title-winning sides and centre-backs popping up with goals. Well, we can have that with Virgil. I know he hasn't probably scored as many as we thought he would. Obviously, gets a couple against Watford. But there's an over-reliance on these lads here, and I think these lads need to step up. Production-wise, the assists, that's fantastic. I don't think you can ask them to do anymore. But these lads here, I do feel like you really can. So I hope that is... I hope that's the 11 that we put out. I believe that that's big enough and good enough to beat Burnley. That's the end of the Starting 11 prediction show. Thank you very much for watching. Of course, thank you very much for subscribing if you do. If you do want to check out the extra content that I mentioned on the redmentv.com, it's £5 a month. We are putting out hours and hours of content. If you like what we do, but you want more in-depth stuff, you want the Stats and Tactics show, the Newsroom show I've done today with Lizzie Doyle from the Anfield Rap's absolutely fantastic. We've got Tom's Man and the Match show after every single game. We've got the Final Word. We've got tons Reds News Roundup of content for you. If you've got that little bit of time and you want to support the show, then please get over to the website, subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.